I'm fine. What I wanted to do was I wanted to go over that Havulat Onai slowly, because that's, when it's a bigger prayer and a lot of words, everybody gets scared. And then there's some, I said I would give you guys a break today. There's very short ones. I picked, so we're doing a Friday night service, a lot of the songs, and they're very singable. They have really nice melodies. So I wanted to do, I sent out, there's L'chu Naranana. These are all nice and easy melodies, and they're only 2 lines, and there's a lot of repetition.
Sorry, I don't see the L'chu. Oh, yes, here it is. Okay, got it. At the top
okay,
left.
So I sent some vocabulary, but we don't have to, that's just in case anybody wants to take a look, that's there. But there's L'chu Naranana, which is a nice melody, Shiru Ladonai, and what it is just 2 lines, and they repeat. And a lot of cantors will repeat that a lot. That gets like the ruach up because they're easy. And the third one was Yismahu Hashemayim. So what I did was I went to my prayer book so I wouldn't have to send so many pages. I put everything on one page. So okay. I did cut and paste. So I put, again, Havulat Onai, and this is an easier way to see it. This is the real thing, not from the workbook. And then on the left side, L'chu Naranana. Hi, Sherry. Oh. And Shiru Ladonai. Okay, also Yismachu Hashemayim and Or Zarua. So I picked 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a review of Havulat Onai. But you can see they're all like just a few lines. So, hi, Francis. Hello, I see you. So that's really nice that these are really easy and they're short. So I figured you probably, if you've ever been to Friday night service, you might have heard them. If not, they're melodies that are kind of pretty common. All right, let me take a quick who's here. I got Sherry. Okay, Janice and Francis. Good. Okay, and Karen.
No. I'm sorry.
No,
it's
not
Elaine.
Karen.
It's
Elaine, yeah.
I accidentally still am signed into our temple.
That's okay.
I mean, our sisterhood site.
I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're good. All right. So today, next week, I want to go over the Friday night service and a lot of the simple repetition songs, the ones that are really easy to learn. And I did want to start with that Havulat Onai. Francis, were you here last week?
I was here for a short time.
Okay. So are you familiar with either the Friday night melody or the Saturday morning melody for Havulat Onai? There's 2 different melodies. The one is for Saturday is when we put the Torah away and they walk down the aisle, when they used to walk down the aisle in person, they would sing Havulat Onai. So that one was the slow one, Havulat Onai Binet Elim, Havulat Onai Kavod Ba'os. That one was they would carry the Torah and return it to the ark. That was at the end of the Torah service before the Haftorah. So the one for Friday night is the one I was trying to teach last week. Havulat Onai Binet Elim, Havulat Onai Kavod Ba'os. So they're very different melodies. And you can tell what service it is after a while by the melody. When you come into a service, you'll know if it's Friday night, if it's Saturday morning, when you get a little more familiar with the melody. So I wanted to go over that. And then on the handout, like I was just telling Janice, I did some cut and paste of L'chu Naranana, Shiru Ladonai, Yismachu Hashemayim, and Or Zarua. All of those, by the way, were in the Shalom Aleichem workbook. Oh, did you get it, Helene? I sent to Julia and I told her to send it to you. Last Friday, I sent her a note.
I don't recall getting it. I'll look through my hundreds of emails again, but
yeah.
I don't recall getting it.
I did it on Friday, right after we left. Okay. All right, let's see if anybody else is there.
Thank you for doing that. But I'll
if she doesn't send it, then I have it. But I've been having trouble with my email because it's so jammed up. It's got 5.5 out of 5.5, and I have to get rid of a lot of emails. So that's a big thing to send. That's why I didn't want Okay, Rhoda is here. Good. Okay. I think I 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have everybody so far. So we can start. So what I want to just say as an introduction to what we'll do is, I had given you the background of Havul Adonai, where it starts with God is hovering over the water and goes up to Lebanon and shatters the trees with God's voice, and then comes back down. And there's a lot of, in the Psalms, there's a lot of reference to words dealing with nature, God and nature. And, you know, Friday night is kind of a warm up. So there's Friday night, and then Saturday morning, it's like a peak. It's sort of like a triangle. It starts Friday night, it goes up to a peak on Saturday morning with the Torah service, and then makes its way down with Saturday night, and finally with Havdalah, and Shabbat is over. So Friday night is, imagine if you have a sports team, it's the warm up. It's getting everybody revved up. So there are nice melodies and a lot of singing and wine and a lot of, you know, companionship, people together, at least before COVID. Now you're sitting on Zoom. So that's what all these Psalms, there's 150 Psalms that were written by David, King David. And so they picked the ones that they glorify God and they compare God with nature. And if you look, the words really, there's a lot of repetition, you know, how God is splendiferous and God is wonderful and God saves and miraculous. So there's so much repetition, you know, a lot of synonyms here. So there's like no really new messages here, right? There's nothing really new. I guess we'll start. Okay, there's, all right, is that Karen? Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
All right, so we're getting people coming on. I want to have everybody included. Okay, so let's go over the Havul Adonai. You want to do the slow melody or the faster one? It's your pick. What do you prefer?
Hello.
I'll be right back. I forgot to get the folder with that.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Right. So what do you prefer? So I'm going to be working from this page, which I have Havul Adonai and the 4 little pieces, which are the pieces that are sung in shul of the Psalms, with a lot of repetition.
Respond.
Okay. All right. So that's what I sent, and I did send some vocabulary. If you just take a look, you see any words on the vocabulary that have to do with nature? Why would we call God a rock? When you think of a rock, what do you think of?
Solid.
Solid, okay.
Strong.
And
Strong.
what was that?
Strong.
Strong. Okay. And when we get to Hanukkah, have you ever heard of this song? Ma'os Sur.
Yes, Rock of Ages.
Okay, Rock of Ages. Who is the Rock of Ages?
God.
Who's the rock? God. So this is repetition, okay? Even in the songs to do with the holidays and in the Psalms, it's really like nothing new under the sun. There's a lot of repetition. So if we look at the vocabulary, you have a rock, sur, and then you have towards the bottom, you have field, sadeh, and you have ya'ar, a forest, and you have zarua. Lizroa is the verb planting. Okay, we're planting. And righteousness is planted in the hearts of those who are upright. That was the line there. So again, we had the sea in Havul Adonai and the cedars of Lebanon. So we do have all the time in these Psalms a lot of nature. So why don't we go over the words so that you don't have trouble with it. So why don't you say it after me? The ones who are here and those who come in will catch up. All right. So do you have Havul Adonai in front of you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I can't find my folder. I'm so disorganized.
Well, I sent this out. People asked, could I send it out Thursday?
But that I have that you sent
okay.
today.
So that's fine. We're going to use that. That's fine, Helene. Okay, everyone should
I'm
have
not
that.
sure I have that. I have this. This is the one
This
I got
is one
this
that I
week.
made up like a composite. I
No,
cut
I have
and pasted.
everything. I'm disorganized. I've got so many.
All right, well,
files, I
you'll
can't
find it as we go. So Havul
right.
Adonai, I put it on the page, it says 64 at the top. That's from the prayer book.
Okay.
So it goes, I'll do the slow one. Havul Adonai b'nei Elim. Let's try that together. Let's just say the words. Havu
Havu
Ladonai
Ladonai
b'nei
B'nei
Elim.
Elim.
Elaine, it's the one we were doing last week while I sent it.
I know. I don't know where I put the folder.
Okay,
I have
the printout.
I know. I remember seeing that. It's just that I've put it somewhere. I had a folder with everything.
You could find it in your prayer book.
Let me go get it. But don't wait for me. I'm just so disorganized.
Okay. All right. You'll find it. And then it goes, Havul Adonai kavod va'oz. Okay. Let's say it. Havul Adonai
Kavod
va'oz. Okay. Then the next line says, Havul Adonai
Adonai
kavod shemo.
Kavod Shemo.
Here's a bigger word. And then I said, go by syllables. Hishtachavu Ladonai Hadrat Kodesh. Okay, so we know the word kavod. Remember, I think I told you the expression kol hakavod. Kavod is honor. And what does Kodesh mean? Kodesh, holy. And it's related to the word kiddush, right? Holy. And when you are at services, they go kadosh, 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 holy, holy, holy. So kadosh is an important word. Then the third line says, Kol Adonai Al Hamayim. So Kol Adonai, you see it's repeated. That means the voice of God is on the water. Remember, it starts out where God is coming over the water. Al Hamayim, Mayim is water. Kol Adonai Al Hamayim. And then it goes, El HaKavod. Hirim. El is another word for God. You have Elohim, Adonai, Sur, El. You have a lot of different words. I think there's like 100 different words, the way they refer to God. Okay, so let's just try that one slowly. Now, there's a part when it's they're returning the Torah and the cantor is leading the procession down the aisle. There's a part where the first 3 lines here, everybody sings with the cantor. And then there's a little solo line that the cantor does. And then we listen and then we join in again. So it would go like this. Havul Adonai b'nei Elim. Havul Adonai kavod va'oz. Havul Adonai kavod shemo. Ishtachavu Adonai behadrat kodesh. Then the cantor says, Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim Adonai al mayim rabim. Then everybody joins in with Kol Adonai ba koach. Kol Adonai Behadar Kol Adonai Shover Arazim. So you see that shover? That's a shin, that third word, shover. It's a shin, and it's got a dot on the left. The dot on the right shows that it's a letter shin. The dot on the left of the shin, it's an O vowel. So you would pronounce that show. Does everybody see that?
You. Can you just show me whereabouts it is? I got lost. Where is it? Whereabouts?
Go down 1, 2, 3, 4. Go down 6 lines.
Oh, okay, at the bottom there.
The
All
third
right.
word in on the 6th line. It goes Kol Adonai Shover. Don't forget the line in the middle. I'm counting that as a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The one, this in the middle, I'm counting that as a line.
Oh, I see it. I see it. I've got it.
Okay.
Sorry about
All right.
that. Thank you.
Yeah, because that's part of the text. So there's a word shover. Okay, it means breaks. So there's a dot on the left and a dot on the right. The one on the left, it's a shin. And the dot on the left of it is an O vowel. Remember, a dot is a vowel O, just when this dot. So you pronounce it show. In case you're wondering, where the heck do we get the O from? Show, there, shover. So it says Kol Adonai Shover. And I think we said last time, I asked you how many times does Kol Adonai occur? And we said it was 7 times, if you count it in this psalm. So this says Kol Adonai Shover Arazim. Arazim. Are you all good with the Zion? You all recognize the letter Zion? Arazim. Vayeshaber Adonai et Arze Halvanon. That line is a lot about the cedars. Okay. Helene, did you find a place?
No, I have my folder now, but I can't find that particular document for some reason. So
All right.
now I have
did
the
you
book,
print it out yesterday?
Yeah, I know. I could go out of
But
this and print it.
If you have the prayer book, it's the same thing.
I have the Cedar Hadash, which is not what you've been using. And so I'm looking for it. I'm sorry to be.
No, that's okay. This is part of the lesson, is finding this stuff. You know, if you look in the table of contents, look for Kabbalat Shabbat.
Kabbalat Shabbat. Okay.
Kabbalat Shabbat.
That
means the beginning of Shabbat. That's like the very first.
That's Friday night. Okay, I see it. 16. Right. I'm in that section.
All right, now go through until you find Havu, and it's going to say Mizmor LeDavid, probably a song of David.
I bet you that's what I was looking at, and I forgot that it's.
All right, and it's Havu is the first. Havu is the first word. Havu Adonai. You'll see that Kol Adonai a lot.
I got it.
All right. We're in business.
Sharu Adonai. I got it.
Okay. No, it's not Shiru Adonai. We're going to do that after. It's Havu Adonai.
Havu Adonai. Okay, but it says Mizmor at the top.
Yeah, because they're all Mizmor. It's a psalm. They're all psalms.
Okay, so I need to go down to a different line for Havu?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in my book, that has a whole page in the Sim Shalom, because it's pretty big. It's Psalm 29, if that's any help. At the end of the psalm, it says what's the number. So Havu Adonai is Psalm number 29.
No, it doesn't show that in here.
It should. No,
it's just page 28, and it says Mizmor at the top, and it starts. Okay,
we're going to be doing Shiru Adonai, but there's a lot.
When do you think it's the page before it?
You know, in different prayer books, like in my prayer book, it's after a few of the prayers.
I don't want to hold everybody else up.
All right, anyway.
Wait a minute. I just recognized the word Shiru Adonai, Shir Hadash.
Right, but we're going to do that too. But not right now. I wanted to do the Havu.
Well, I see a line that says Havu Adonai Kavod Shemo.
All right.
In the middle of a page here, though. It's like in the middle of a Shiru Adonai. That's strange. I don't want to keep everybody.
Okay. Anyway. Why don't we do a line at a time? I'll say it, listen, and then repeat it after me, because I want you to learn this one. Okay. Havu Ladonai from the beginning. Havu Ladonai Binet Elim. Okay, everybody.
Havu Ladonai Binet Elim.
Good. Havu ladonai kavod va'oz.
Havu Ladonai Kavod Va'od.
Oz.
Oz.
Good. Okay, next line. Havu ladonai kavod shemo.
Havu Ladonai Kavod Shemo.
Okay. Hishtachavu ladonai behadrat kodesh.
Ishtachavu Ladonai Kahav.
Havu ladonai kavod shemo. It's the second line. Hishtachavu ladonai behadrat kodesh.
Bahadrat.
Behadrat. Always break it into syllables. Behadrat kodesh. And the third line is Kol Adonai al Hamayim.
Kol Adonai
al Hamayim. Mayim. And then be careful. It's El Hakavod. El Hakavod. Hirim.
Hirim.
Then it says Adonai al Mayim Rabim. Adonai al Mayim Rabim. Okay. And then it goes the next. Kol Adonai Bakoach. Kol Adonai Bakoach. Remember that rule? You see the chet? You see a line under it? That's the vowel ah. When you have the letter chet and the ah vowel under it, you pronounce it ach. Ach. It's not cha, it's ach. You pronounce the vowel and then the letter when that combination comes at the end of a word. Okay? So it's Kol Adonai Bakoach. Koach.
Carol, I printed it out from my iPad instead of the computer, so I have it now.
Okay, great. Then it goes Kol Adonai Behadar. Kol Adonai Behadar. Then the next line. Kol Adonai. And that's where we were up to. Shover.
Shover.
Does everybody understand how we got shover?
Arazim.
You see the dot? Okay, shover arazim.
Arazim.
Vayishaber.
Vayishaber.
Adonai.
Adonai.
Et. Arzeh. Halvanon. And that means Lebanon. Halvanon, the Lebanon. The next line. Halvanon, good. Vayar Kidem. Vayar Kidem. Kamo. Egel. Lebanon. That's Lebanon again. Visirion. Kamo. Then. Re'emim.
Could I ask a question about one of the words? The visir, is it vis? I heard somebody say visiron, but is it visirion?
No, visirion. In Hebrew, it's phonetic. Everything you see is what you get. The Sirion is the place. The Sirion. You have to pronounce every letter and every vowel. Kamoven re'emim. Okay, go down to the next Kol Adonai. Kol Adonai. Otsev. Is everybody familiar with the tzadi? Because some of the letters at the end of the alphabet may be rushed. Chotsev. You see that tzadi in the middle of that word? Chotsev. Is everybody good with the tzadi? Chotsev. La havot. Eish. Okay, that's fire. The next line is Kol Adonai.
Kol Adonai.
Yachil.
Yachil.
Midbar.
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 Okay, you know Midbar is the desert.
Oh, Adonai.
Yachiel,
Yachil.
Adonai
Adonai.
is the desert again. Midbar,
Midbar.
Kadesh.
Kadesh. Holy.
Okay. Next line. Kol Adonai,
Kol Adonai.
Yecholel,
Yecholel.
Ayalot.
Ayalot.
Okay, now look at the next word. Vayechesof. And that word has a final say.
Vayechesof.
Okay, the long ones are like the final chaf. The long ones are the final letters. Vayechesof. Vayechesof.
Vayechesof.
Ye'arot.
Ye'arot.
Uvhei chalot. Uvhei chalot.
Uvhei chalot.
Kulo.
Kulo.
Omer. Kavod.
Kavod.
There's that word honor. Second to last. Adonai.
Adonai.
Lamabul.
Lamabul.
Mabul is the flood. Lamabul. Yashav.
Yashav.
Vayeshev. Adonai. Melech le'olam. What does that mean? Melech le'olam. Ah, doggy. Melech le'olam. What does that mean? Melech, king of the universe. King of the universe. Okay, Melech is king le'olam.
So what does ha'olam mean?
The world.
Oh.
Ha'olam. There's an Israeli cheese that I get in Cedarhurst. It's a very religious neighborhood. And this cheese is, the name of the company is Ha'olam. And I get this Edom cheese, which is superb. They have Israeli cheeses there, so that's what I buy. So to the last line, Adonai owes.
Adonai
Owes is strength, power. Adonai owes la'amo. Am is nation. God will give strength to the nation. Adonai owes la'amo yitain. Okay, yitain. So it means yitain is he will give to the nation strength. God. It's like reading it backwards, but that's what God will give us strength. Adonai owes la'amo yitain. Will give strength to the nation, to us, to the Jews. Adonai yivarech. Does anyone recognize the word Yivarech or Baruch? What does the first word of all the blessings mean? Baruch, Ata, Adonai.
Blessed.
Okay, so blessed. Baruch, Ata, Adonai. Blessed are you, God. Baruch, Ata, Adonai. Eloheinu, our Lord. Melech HaOlam, King of the world, King of the universe. So it's Adonai Yivarech. God will bless. Adonai Yivarech. Yivarech. Et Amo, his nation, Vashalom. I hope so. With peace. I'd like to see it in my lifetime. With peace. Adonai Oz Amo Yitain. So the slow melody, and like I said, there's a part where the cantor sings, but you can hear and you can join on. I'm going to do it very slowly. So you can trace, you can follow with your finger, or you can join in. But I'm going to do really, really slowly, the slow melody, because it's easier to learn the slower one when you're not familiar with the words, okay? So see if you can hop on, if you can, if not, just following is a good, tracking it is a good first step to being able to sing. Okay, you have to know where the cantor is. You'll find him. So the slow one goes, Havul Adonai B'nei Elim. Havul Adonai Avod Ba'olam. Kavod Shemo Ishtachavu Ladonai Behadrat Kodesh. And this is the Cantus part. Kol Adonai Alamayim El HaKavod Hirim Adonai Alamayim Rabim. Now everybody joins in again. Kol Adonai Good. I prefer that Adonai Behadar. Good. Kol Adonai Dover Arazim Vayeshaber Adonai Et Arzei Kalvano. Now the cantic goes. Vayar Kidem Kimo Egel Lebanon V'Siryon Kamo Then Re'emim. That's his solo. Then we continue. Ko Adonai Kotzei Lavot Esh. Ko Adonai Yachil Midbar Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh Ko Adonai Yeholel Ayalot. And the cantor. Vayechesof Ya'arod Uvehechalo Kulo Omer Kavod. That's the cantors. And then we do. Somebody there? I don't know. Hey, somebody's playing the xylophone for practice?
No, it's a scam coming in. I thought I had it on airplane mode. I'm really messed up today.
Anyway, the last two lines is where the congregation joins in. And it goes, Adonai Lamabu Yashav Vayeshev Adonai Melech Le'olam. Last line. Adonai Oz Li'amo Yitei Adonai Yevarech Amo V'Shalom. So if you learn this, you get a freebie. You get a 2-for-1 because you can sing on Friday night and follow the cantor, and you could do it Saturday at the end of the Torah service. Okay, the melody is different, but the words do not change. Words are the same. So once you get familiar with the words, and after a while, what's going to happen is just like in any language that you might study, some words are going to stand out. So looking through this, tell me, are there any words that seem easy to you, or words that sound easy in your ears or you've heard before? Or
Kol and Adonai.
Yeah,
sure.
that repeats 7 times, right? The voice of God. Kol Adonai. Okay. So now when you see that kol, you got it. Okay, that's
Havu and Havu.
Havu. So there's a lot of combinations with Adonai. Havu Adonai, Kol Adonai. Good. Anything else? Just look through, scan, and see, are there any words that look like
Shalom.
Shalom, Bashalom. Is it going to, what about Yevarech? God is going to do what with us? With peace. What's Baruch? Bless.
Bless.
He will bless the Jews with peace. Adonai Yevarech. God will
It
bless.
starts all the blessings, Baruch.
Right, Baruch is the same root. Baruch. And the brachot means the blessings. Yevarechacha, all of anything with that bet, resh, and chaf, that means bless. Okay, when you take the Torah Aliyah, Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech, right? Baruch. And then it has Eloheinu, our God, Melech Le'olam. There's so much repetition, right? There's words in the prayers. There's a certain, like a prayer vocabulary, and he keeps repeating. Doesn't matter what service. These words repeat. Once you kind of get used to them. Okay, what does the word kavod? Remember we talked about people say kol ha-kavod, kavod,
Honor.
You said kol ha-kavod. You did a great job. Oy, kol ha-kavod. Okay, and then Kodesh. What's Kodesh?
Holy.
Kodesh, right. So some of these words will start to look a little familiar. And la'amo, what is am? If you've ever been to a rally, Am Yisrael Chai. What does Am Yisrael Chai mean? Never been to a rally and they sing songs. I've been to so many parades. The Israel Day Parade down Fifth Avenue. I've held flags. I've been with all kinds of groups, Volunteers for Israel, with my synagogue, with all groups. And Am is a nation. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Okay, all the kids sing that, youth group. Okay, the nation of Israel lives. Chai. You wear a chai around your neck? Life, right? Why is it, what significance of the letters Yud and Chet? It has to do with numbers, gematria. Yud is 10, and here, watch. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet. What number? Wait. 8. 10 and 8.
It's Chai.
Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. So the spelling of the letter Yud and a Chet, it's Chai. That's life. So when they say Am Yisrael Chai, that's the word, and it's also the numerical value of the word for life. Am Yisrael Chai. Okay, so I want to teach you some of these. You may really know some of the melodies that I'm going to give you. Did anyone ever hear this one? Look at the top of the printout I gave you. Lechu neranena neranena ladonai naria litzur yishenu, and it repeats. Lechu neranena ladonai naria litzur yishenu, and there's that rock again, sor. Okay, can't get rid of it. And then it goes nikadma fanav. Nikadma fanav, a lot of repetition. Here's the third time. Nikadma fanav betoda bizmirot. Here's the third time. Bizmirot. It's only 2 times. Narialo. Bizmirot. Narialo. Anyone ever hear that? Anybody ever go to Friday night services?
I've heard the not that melody. I've heard a couple of melodies, but not that.
Do you know any of them? Can you hum any of them?
Is that the one?
That's Lechadodi. That's Lechadodi. Yeah, that's one. That's the word. Yishenu.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know how to read.
Okay,
I'm learning to read it, but
know the
memory,
words. And then if you apply the melody, you're going to say, "Oh my God, I can actually sing this thing." So there's lots of melodies.
Carol, we want to be able to read it, not singing it. We first need to know how to read it. And I think that's where I haven't been happy.
Okay.
We're familiar with it, but we don't want to just do it by rote. We have to be able to read it. And often,
I understand that.
Often our singing by rote, we're not enunciating properly because we're just doing it from what we think we're hearing, which is different than using the words.
But when you read it, That's one argument. The other argument is that when you learn a melody, like when it distorts it when you go, Havu Ladonai B'nai Elim. Then you hear it in the synagogue.
Learning how to,
those are the words. Those are the lyrics.
If you don't know it, that's how you learn to read. It's a basic reading class. We're trying to do that.
Anybody not even knowing Hebrew could sing the melodies and enunciate the melodies and the songs without knowing.
Well, you'll make a lot of mistakes if you don't read it, obviously. You'll just go along with what you think, what you think it is. And I understand that. But all right, if you don't want to learn the melodies, that's fine, to read it. I mean, I always thought that it's when I learned, like when I'm learning a new prayer and I hear the melody and then I look at the words, it's easier for me. If you just want a straight rote reading, I'll do that. We did it a little differently last year, but each class is different. It doesn't matter to me. It's whatever is good for you. I mean, I still feel that once you can read it and then you get into service and then he's going to start singing, goes, oh my God, where is he? But that's okay. All right. I would like to take some lines. All right. Let's go over this L'chuna Ranana. And you can use, and the thing is, many different synagogues, they'll have their own melodies, right? The cantors will have their favorite melodies. So when you know the words and you go to services, which I encourage, you should start going, maybe it's a Friday night, you'll catch on quickly because you'll hear your cantor and that melody will stay in your head and then you'll put the words to the melody. Okay, but that's okay. So who would like to do the first? I'll say it again and watch, and then I would like some people to read the first line. Okay, we're on L'chuna Ranana. So it says, L'chu Niranana Ladonai, Naria Litzur Yishenu. Okay, repeat everybody. L'chu Niranana Ladonai, Naria Litzur Yishenu. Okay, who would like to read that first line? Okay, let's practice reading it. Okay, Helene.
Lehu naranana ladonai, naria litzur yishenu.
Very good. Okay, somebody else. Francis, you want to try that first line?
Lehu naranana ladonai, naria litzur yishenu. Yishenu.
Mm-hmm. You know what I often say, to know the difference between the shin and the sin, you should have a keyword. Your keyword is shalom. Make sure you know how to recognize shalom. Shalom's got a dot on the right? Shin, shalom. So if that's your keyword, when you look at anything with a shin, that should bring up that word shalom. You should be able to say, okay, it's got a dot over here on the right. I know the word shalom. It's a sh. It will help. Okay, Janice, you want to try that first line?
Lechor vera.
Okay, it's a nun. The first letter is a nun.
Nera.
Okay, so what happens is this is a shva that you sound with the sound of I. So it goes nera, ne, na, nera, ne, na, nera, ne, na.
Lechu, nera, na, na, la Adonai, naria, letzur, yishenu.
Yishenu, very good. Rhoda, you want to try it?
Lechu naranana ladonai, naria latsur yishenu.
Very good. Okay. Karen, do you want to try it? You're muted. Sherry, you're muted. You want to try it? Unmute. Good.
Okay.
First line.
Lehu Niranana Ladonai Nariah Latsur Ishenu.
Perfect. Very good. Let's see who's here. Who else? Let's see. Okay. Karen doesn't want to do it. Okay. Francis, Janice, Helene. I want to make sure everyone tries it. Rhoda. Okay. Okay. The second line. Nikadma. Fanav.
It's an R.
Okay, so the first word, nikadma.
Doesn't look like it.
Now, the second word is pronounced fanav. That's a fe. When you see at the end of a word a yud and a vav, you probably learned this last year because it's in the Shalom Aleichem book. That ending with a yud and a vav has a sound of av. Av. Fanav. Fanav. Okay. Fanav. Okay. Bitoda.
Bitoda.
Like when you say toda, thank you in Hebrew, toda, bitoda. Biz me wrote. Naria. Low. Okay, so I'm going to say it again and just follow along, listen. Nikadma, fanav, bitoda, bizmirot, naria, low. Okay, let's all try that. Nikadma, fanav, bitoda, bizmirot, naria, low. Okay, so you see a lamed and you see a vav with a dot. So there's a lamed and then next to it, that O sound, that's a vowel, right? If you just had the dot, it would also be low.
Carol, I have a question. And the second word, are you saying that is a pay or a fey? Because without the dot, it looks like a fey.
It is a fey.
Okay,
Fanav.
you're saying
what you fanav.
So that's what. Okay.
No, it's a fey. It's an F. Nikadma, fanav, bitoda, bizmirot, naria, low. Okay. Since you're, a lot of you very concerned about the reading. You came from different classes, right? You were not all in the same class, the same beginning class?
I wasn't in any class.
Neither was I.
Right, I know that. Self-taught. But the rest of you, Francis, Karen, Rhoda, Sherry, all of you, were you all in the same class?
No.
Some of us were. Some of us. I wasn't in any class.
So my question is this. Did all of you finish the alphabet and all the vowels?
Yes.
Did you finish?
I'm the one that didn't finish a couple of letters, but I'm
right. I remember you saying that. But did everybody finish the alphabet?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. No. Who said no?
Karen.
Okay. All right. How far did you get? Because I told you our experience. The first time I was teaching the beginning class, we met every 2 weeks. Then I complained and I said, that's not enough. So we hadn't finished. When we went on and I took them to advanced beginning, we had to finish the book. We had to finish all the vowel combinations and all the letters. Mm-hmm. And then we started going into the prayers because there were pieces of prayers in the book like this. There's like a few lines. Some of the words are highlighted, but some of them are just words, words to get you familiar with pieces of the prayer, important lines. So Karen, what class was that?
The last time I had a class was probably 40 odd years ago.
Oh no, I'm talking about women's league class. Huh? I'm talking about last year, but you never finished the alphabet?
I wasn't in a class last year.
Okay.
They somehow just
Rhoda
put me here.
Okay, Rhoda, did you finish the alphabet in your class?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, were you and Francis together?
Yes, we were.
Yes.
Okay, so did you finish all the vowels?
Yes.
All the combinations. Okay, so you could read phonetically, in other words.
Yes, we did. We tried our best.
Okay, don't talk about Ashrei. I know the Ashrei thing. Sherry, what about you? You were in a different class. Did your class finish all the letters?
I was in different classes through our different synagogues and community classes years ago. And I actually was in Hebrew school like 2 years when I was very young. And for various reasons, I did not continue.
Okay, but in your early years, did you finish the alphabet?
Oh, my early years, but I remember the Lamed, the Shin, and the Aleph. And that was probably about it from what I remember as a child. But some of these others, I don't know, I've done a lot of things periodically, and I've probably learned some of these, but maybe not as well as I should.
So I think that's something that has to be addressed. Okay, that we really need to shore up on the basics.
Right.
On the letters and the vowel combinations before we would attempt like some of the prayers, because I was led to believe that advanced beginner, that you were placed in this class because you finished the alphabet and all the vowels. And then in the advanced beginner, there's a whole list of all kinds of all these prayers that they want us to teach the Friday night service. But if you're not confident in the phonetic reading, then forget the singing. You can't even, read all the letters comfortably. And it should be comfortable before you go on. It has to be step by step. So if you could, write to me and tell me, look over the alphabet. I gave you an alphabet chart at the very beginning. Mm-hmm. Which letters look like they're zombie letters? Which letters look like this is in moon speak? I don't know these letters. Okay, because
Carol,
without really knowing the letters,
do you think the class would like to change this from advanced to the beginner? I would be willing to do that because I think repetition is always helpful to me.
Well, definitely.
And I didn't take
we're in different,
your class.
Different
I am meeting, you mentioned Helene Herman at some point. Yeah. She took your class. I didn't realize you were her teacher, but she now is meeting with 3 or 4 women.
I know.
Okay, well, and she invited me the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, the thing is,
just raving about the way you taught them the basics, and she just raved about you.
Well, so I have this advantage. Okay, I started them off from the very beginning of the Shalom Aleichem book. We went, like I said, about 3/4 of 7/8 of the way. And then I complained. I said, we can't finish it every 2 weeks. It's just impossible. So I took them from the beginning, and then we finished the book. We finished all the letters and all the combinations. And then I took them into advanced. Well, we gelled as a class, and they didn't want to stop. So I said, okay, look, I'll offer you a class in the summer. So we met in the summer. And by then I had taught them a lot of prayers. I refused to spend weeks and weeks on Ashrei. And then I prepared them for the high holidays. And we sang those songs and we did that. The advantage that I have is that I started them. So I knew what they knew. I knew.
Yeah, and it seems like people in this class maybe should have taken
different places. They're in different places.
It's like teaching a kindergartner and a middle school. I mean, I don't know how you can accomplish.
Well, I'm seeing that, a lot of you are coming from different places. Now, if you want to spend some time, I mean, Francis is saying, we want to read. Well, yes, you want to read, but you need to have the mechanics to read. And I'm assuming, wrongly, I see, that you all were able to phonetically read. But that's not true. Some are 20 years ago, 40 years ago, synagogue class and this. So you're coming from my class started with me and they stayed with me. I knew exactly what I taught them. I knew what melodies, I knew what prayers. So we could just keep going very smoothly because we all were like on the same page. We had gone through all our pages in that book, in Shalom Aleichem, and then we finished it. So that's the difficulty that I'm having, is because I'm seeing, it's like, and I teach ESL, professionally, and some students will come in and they can read well, they can speak well, they speak at work. Others on the same level class have a hard time speaking, just basic speaking, and they've all been tested. They're all the same thing. So I really think that maybe a little bit of review to make sure that everybody is good with the alphabet, strong with it, combinations, and can really read it. And be honest with me, and like if you really can't read it and don't know if you stopped it halfway in the alphabet, that's not going to help. So I would take some of the pages out of this Berman House book that it's like a primer, and I got it a copy online, and it's really nice because it's really good drill stuff, like the beginning of the Shalom Aleichem book. Very good drill, za, zo, zu, ze, z, and then bigger words, and then words that are from the Siddur, and that's what they did in the beginning class. And that was the whole principle of Shalom Aleichem. He started out with the letters and the vowels to make the word Shalom and then Aleichem. And he only introduced the things for those words. Then he started to expand with words, prayer words from other things, slowly. And it grew, it built. But I'm seeing that you're all in like different levels. No, I mean, I want to teach you, I want to help you, but that's the problem. So I would like to do at least next week, I would like to pick out some drill stuff. I mean, it's too hard if you can't read it. And these words have several syllables, it was like we're knocking our head against the wall.
Can we work with the second half of the alphabet?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, the thing is, it's not exactly presented like that in the Shalom Aleichem book.
Oh.
However, do you all have that book?
Yes, I do.
You all used it, right? Sherry, you have that book too?
I don't.
Okay, so anyone who took Karen, do you have that book?
No.
Okay, see, this is where we're talking in different things.
But so isn't that what you said your friend was going to send me?
Yes, okay, so Karen.
What is her email so I can look for it in my list?
It's Julia Loeb, Loeb. I think it's at Women's League, WLCJ.org.
Okay.
So if you all have that book, and it's a very good book. Sherry, did you like that book? Do you have it?
You sent it to me. I started going through some of it and it seemed so basic to me. However, it would probably be JLOEB, not Julia LOEB.
Okay, JLOEB at nsjc.org.
Carol, why don't you just send it to everyone, and whoever needs it will use it. And if they don't, they don't. It's easier than going one by one. So
well, the thing is that takes up a lot of space, in the computer. I'm not in an office here.
Oh,
that's like a lot of pages to send to everybody. So I will call Julia and ask her to send it. And if you tell me who needs it, I will get it sent to you. Okay, I'll call her. So Janice, you have that book?
Yeah, you sent it to me. Thanks, Carol.
Okay.
I haven't gone
Sherry,
through it.
I haven't
gone through it.
Send it to me.
Okay, it's a very good book. It's a really good primer. Sherry, you've got that, right?
You sent it to me, yes.
Okay. And Helene, you need it.
Yeah,
Right.
I think so. I mean, I know a lot of the letters, but there are just a few that just throw me that I never got.
Right, but that's going to help. That'll help your reading if you get the letters, okay?
Yeah.
And Francis, you have that book, right?
I have part of it.
It's got like 70-something pages.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah. Rhoda, you have that book?
I have the book.
Okay. Karen, you need it. Who else? Anybody else?
Yeah.
And we'll make sure you have that. And I'll pick some some of the letters, exercises with some of the letters towards the end of the alphabet, and make sure that everybody is good. And the same thing with, there's some like rules, like I said, like the word ach, the combination ach at the end, right? Like mizabeach. So if you don't, if you've never learned it, it's not your fault if you've never learned it, you know, and that will help you, will help the reading. It's a barrier if you don't know all the letters. I mean, really. So, and I will pick out some things that you'll find easy, and those that will help you in fluency, you know, recognizing combinations, and then knowing the rules about vowels. And I think that will help everybody. Okay, so we go down. You were saying like about mem, you're up to mem, Helene?
Oh, I don't know. It's been so long ago. I don't know. I just know that I was good at the beginning. And then when it got toward the end, I really didn't learn those letters well.
Okay.
See, I actually had in a small Reform temple, a bat mitzvah. I read 3 words from the Torah. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I didn't do much. I didn't do much of anything. And I didn't have time to learn all the letters before the bat mitzvah took place. So.
Well,
okay, Rhoda. All right. So I think that's Shabbat Shalom. I think we'll start with some of the reading drills. We can still go on with some of the easy, like this Friday night stuff. There's like these 2-liners, you know, like there's 2 lines, and that's the whole thing of the psalm. It's not the whole psalm, but it's what's sung in the services.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So like and usually like our cantor, he just does that because there's so many, you know, psalms. You'd be there for hours and hours. Like Orza, Ruah, Latzadik, and everybody sings. And then Simchu Tzadikim Badonai V'chodu Zecher Kodsho, and it repeats. There's 2 lines, and then the thing repeats. And he could do that many, many times, and everybody loves it because they know those 2 lines. And it's pretty easy. Okay, so how many of you? Again, I was given a syllabus, you know, to do the Friday night and to do. It was Ashrei was not on there. The Adon Olam, Ein Kelohenu, Torah Blessing, you know, basic stuff. Modeh Ani. So it doesn't have to be that. It could be what you really feel you need. You can mold the class because just because they have it on a list, that doesn't mean that's going to do you any good. How many of you want to learn the Friday night service? So it's like, I feel like I'm pushing you to do something you don't want. So why don't you tell me what you do want to learn? And then I'll cater to that. Sherry.
Well, I go along with Francis. Once we know the letters well, then it's easier for us to start learning those services. And even though I go often and I've been doing this for a long time now, I can't follow fast enough when they're reading or singing fast.
Okay. Well, it depends how fast your cantor goes. If your cantor goes,
she's fast.
Okay. Can everybody else follow?
It seems like most of them.
They do it by rote. They do the best they can, and as you said,
I know from already taking this class that some of the words I think I'm hearing aren't really exactly like they're supposed to be said or sung.
Right. Okay.
Can I just mention something?
Yes, Janice.
Oh, sorry.
Janice.
I just wanted to mention we don't have a Friday night service, believe it or not. We only have the Saturday. It's probably because I don't have enough people. So I haven't been, I used to love Friday night services, but it's been many years since we've had one.
Yeah. Our synagogue has some Friday night services, but they're short. They're not real long, but they emphasize Saturday. And I know most of Saturday because I did a Binet Mitzvah class. Okay. And I learned the prayers from hearing them and following them in the prayer book. And it's like, if I don't do it for a while, then I forget the letters. And then if I start concentrating on it again, they start coming back to me.
Okay. Sherry, what were you going to say?
Okay. I've had an adult bat mitzvah. I've led parts of the service, but it's taken me a long time to get all of that stuff learned so that I could present. And I know that my basic Hebrew reading skills are very slow. And looking at the list, I'm thinking some of these final letters I may really not know very well. And I know I have not learned the names of many of the letters over the years. I've learned them more by the sounds.
Me too.
And yeah, so I think that's pretty much where I am.
Okay, well, the names of the letters are the sounds, right? Except the silent ones.
Well,
Ayin and Aleph,
kind of.
and Hey at the end.
Yeah, like tzaddik, you know, it's not tzaddik. I don't know.
Right. All right. So why don't we clean house, and why don't we, revamp this? Let's see if we can get everybody up to speed on all the letters and review with all the vowels, letters and vowels that you're all good on. And for that, I have sources. Okay, like I said, there's a Berman House book that has some very nice drills. There are pages in the Shalom Aleichem towards the end, with those other letters, the final letters. So we can work with that, and those are really very good. So that if you have 10 lines, it's like boo, ba, boo, boom, beam, bam. And then if I ask you to read, that will increase your fluency because it's like syllables. It's not a whole word. And I'm trying to get you to say hishtachavu, and you're looking at me like I've got two heads, like what am I trying to torture you with? Okay. So I think the first thing that any good teacher does is know your class and know their needs, right? So now I'm seeing it's not like everybody was in the same class, that everybody finished the book and we're all up to this go point, okay? So if you will let me take you back a little bit and let's finish up the right way, because that's what I knew, that we went through every page of all those letters and all the combinations. By the end of by end of February, we had finished that book. So I knew where we were, what I could teach and what I couldn't teach. So let's breathe and let's just rethink, okay? And it's not a race. Just because they called it advanced beginner, or next semester if they call intermediate, it's not a race. It's where you're learning and you're comfortable. All right. So we have to take it down to the point where you are and take it to where you want to be. Okay. Because if I feel like I'm trying to cram this down your throats and like you're like scared and you're at different levels. So let's all get together. Let's kind of equalize it out. And it'll be so much easier to start learning the pieces of the service. And then also, I will open up to you, just because they have a suggested syllabus, which I helped make with Debbie Lambert and the other teachers. It doesn't mean that that's what you have to do. You're not going to be tested on it. So with the other class, with Helene's class, by Helene, they would say, oh, could you teach us this? So they wanted to learn the Torah Blessings. Okay, let's learn the Torah Blessings. And we did, like I did with you, blessings on the children for Friday night. That's really nice. The Kiddush. So we did, like I did with you, I tried to do a unit on Friday night. Functional. Blessings on the candles, or hand washing, that kind of stuff. Okay, which that stuff you should be able to do. You should be able to do, because those blessings are pretty simple. They're short. Okay, but we'll do a combination. I'm going to go back over that stuff because I want you to be able to do that and feel good about it, not just skim the top of everything and feel crummy about it. So let's rethink. Okay, don't give up. Let's go forward. We don't go in reverse. At least I don't. So and then when the others are on, we'll have a little powwow. I mean, by only telling me the truth of where you are, I'm not going to be impressed if you tell me that, you're an intermediate student and then you can't read. Okay,
I didn't think that I should have been actually placed in this class. I wanted to take the beginner class, but I was told, oh no, you can read Hebrew, so you should take this class. And I know I'm not totally a beginner, but I knew I needed some basics.
Okay, so we'll go over. Is that all right with everybody if we just shore up the basics? And
thank you.
I really think that will be good. I think it'll be easier for me, and I think it'll be easier for you. I think you'll be happier because, like, it's trying to put your foot in a shoe that's too small.
It's a good way to put it. Yeah.
No, I mean it's I can't teach you these things if we need another piece before this.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll be much smoother. You'll feel much better about it. You'll be able to really, do it. And say, you won't be struggling so much.
Mm-hmm.
No,
sounds great. Thank you.
It's not important to me that you know the Hebrew. What we did as we evolved the class last year in the spring, I was giving them a few roots, and and they liked it.
Oh yeah, it is helpful. I think it is helpful.
Well, then you could guess at what you're saying. And what they used to like, I used to give them a mystery message. I gave it to them in Hebrew, and they had to sound it out in Hebrew letters and vowels, but it was a message in English. Like if it was I am, it would be like an aleph and a yud. I am, maybe an ayin and a final mem. I am your teacher. So that was a lot of fun that they were able to figure it out. And I gave them matching, some roots match up with the English, just for their own, knowledge. Okay. I will prepare differently for next week. All right.
Thank you very much for everything.
Thank you.
And I will retool and I'll think about it. And I'm going to, especially the second half of the alphabet. But that doesn't mean we'll forget the first half. We're going to need those guys too. We're going to need a whole team here with everybody. All right. And I'm sorry, I don't consider this a waste of time. I think this is constructive. I think this is, but we'll put everybody where you belong, and we'll get those books out to you, and I'll see about the others if they need it. I think I'll send them an email to everybody and say, let me know if you don't have that, because you came from different classes.
Yeah.
And, different things. So, all right.
Thank
every
you.
class is different. Every year is different. I think it'll be much easier. Okay. I want you to volunteer to read. I'll make it easy. All right.
All right.
Carol, thank you very much. And Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Have a good
Shabbat Shalom.
Here it's beautiful in New York. I'm going to go outside and plant some bushes.
It's raining here.
Oh,
it's usually nice.
I got to go cook. I'm having company.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Have a good Shabbos, ladies. We'll see you next week. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Lots of times I don't read because I have asthma and CPO and I cough a lot.
Okay.
And so that's why I usually say no to reading.
Okay. So you can read to yourself.
Yeah.
And you can sound out. You don't have to say out the sounds, but you can say it in your head, following along. Do it the way it's best for you. See, it's a matter of, I don't know all of you ladies yet. So I have to know who I'm dealing with. Like we all started out the same point last year. So that was easy for me. Everybody started at ground zero. And we all moved along at the same pace. But you see what's happening here is people I took 40 years ago, I self-taught, I took in a synagogue, it's really,
I did the Binet Mitzvah class like 9 years ago. Okay. And a lot of it I did by rote memory with the melodies.
Okay.
So that I could follow it in the book, and I would follow it in the book, but I was also, a lot of it was memorization.
So you weren't really reading, you're saying?
Sometimes I was. I thought
I mean, like
reading,
maybe Adon Olam, you might have
it
known
was a
so well.
combination of the two.
Okay.
And
well, I'm going to ferret everybody's secrets out.
Okay.
Everyone's like holding back. And, you know, I'm trying to teach you to read, and like, not everybody is 100% ready to do this service.
It was strange because I had started Hebrew school in Pennsylvania, but I didn't get to very many classes. And I was only in for a very short period of time. And we moved to California. My dad takes me in to see the rabbi to get in class. And at that time, I was like 15 or so. Oh. So I landed up in the confirmation class, which didn't deal with the Hebrew. But he says, well, you can read Hebrew. I says, yeah, I know Adonai. And he goes,
there you go.
Adonai. I said, I definitely know Adonai. You know, I can read that.
What was the reaction?
It was like, you can't read Hebrew.
Yeah. But you said since then you've taken some classes?
Yeah, when my kids were little, which they're now in their 40s and 50s, I took like a beginner's class in Hebrew then, because I wanted to be able to do stuff with them and with their bar mitzvahs and stuff. But yeah, and then I did the Binet Mitzvah class 9 years ago.
Did the Binet Mitzvah class have a Hebrew component?
Oh, yes. Most of this, we did the service in Hebrew. Most of it, the majority of the service was all in Hebrew.
Are you telling me that you memorized the service or you read the service? You could follow it.
It was a combination. I had a tape of all the melodies and the songs.
What service was it? It was Shabbat morning?
Shabbat morning, yeah.
All right. And you had a bat mitzvah?
Well, there was 5 of us that did it together.
So what did you have to do for your bat mitzvah?
Well, I did some prayers as a group. I had a small Torah reading of about 3 or 4 lines myself, which was definitely memorized. I know that because there's no vowels in the Torah. And
did they teach you trope?
A little, but I didn't catch on to the trope that good, but I did do a little. So you had
a tape and you memorized the lines.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't do, I was out for a couple months because I had surgery during the class. And so they did the Haftorah, I didn't do anything with. I did the Torah readings and the other prayers that we did.
So here's another consideration, and something that you said. I have a class, I mean, how many were here today? Like 5 or something? There's about 12 or 13 and more than that in the class. And some people, now that COVID is lifting a little bit, people are writing to me. Marcia Verbit wrote, she says, I don't belong in this class because I think they didn't place well for this class.
Yeah.
And she said, I really need to go to a beginning class because she's not comfortable, I guess, with all the letters. So when they put you in an advanced beginner and then they gave us this curriculum to teach the prayers, I think that the screening wasn't that good this time. I don't think they spoke to you. How did they screen you?
Nothing. I just filled out the form saying
and you self-selected. You self-selected the advanced beginner?
I don't remember.
Okay.
They may have asked if I knew Hebrew letters. I do know some of them and that.
Right, but that's not. Yeah. That's not the whole. There's 22 letters. Knowing 11 is not enough.
Yeah, I know Sherry Stein that's in the class is also from my synagogue. And I was talking to her and she thinks she should be up a level into, I guess, what the intermediate class.
Okay, she can go there.
Told her she needed to write you if that's what she wanted to do.
It's not up to me. If she wants to do that, she can write to Julia. And I I have no part in the placement. I just get a list. I meet the students and then teach them.
Yeah.
I mean, with the last year, that was the first time I did this. It was easy. Everybody was a beginner.
Yeah.
So we began with the beginning. We went all the way to the end of the book, and then we continued. You know, that was easy.
I was trying to look for my book. It's around here someplace that I used about 40 years ago. And lots of times I'll pull it out and refer to it.
Yeah, but this Shalom Aleichem book.
Yeah.
He did it, the rabbi who wrote the book, it was a different idea. At first I thought, well, I didn't like it, but he didn't do the alphabet in order. He did it in order of a prayer attack. So the first was learning everything for the letters and the vowels, and he did it slowly with a lot of drill, good drill, to be able to read the prayer, the song, Shalom Aleichem, all the words. And he did it a little at a time. So you didn't realize it. And then all of a sudden you met your prayer objective. You were able to read the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
The A and the Yud and then all the pieces grammatically that you would need. And then you had the final mem, like you had the final mem in like it's sort of in the beginning of the year, because you had the word shalom. So you had to have a shin and a lamed and a vav and a final mem. Those shin is all the way at the end of the alphabet. Right?
Yeah.
You would not get to say the word shalom until you almost finished the class. But he had a different philosophy. He wanted you to be able to do whole words and a whole prayer. And he gave you all the elements. I mean, it's like a cooking class. If you don't have all the ingredients, how are you going to make that cake? Okay.
Yeah.
You can't do the thing if you don't have the right letters and the vowels, right? So he made sure he packed in all that stuff a little at a time. And then all of a sudden you were reading and singing Shalom Aleichem. Well, once you could read it, you could sing it. So we read it, and then we sang it, and then they could do it because they recognized all the words and all the letters, and that was not a problem. And then we went on to the next prayer objective, you know, and he did the Kaddish, the Kiddush, the blessings, you know, and it was brilliant. It was really smart. It was very, very good plan. The plan was reading, prayer reading. And how do you do that? You need to know the vocabulary. So words with, and then he would put words that were similar roots like Kodesh, Kaddish, Kedusha, right? So you had Kiddush and Kaddish and Kadosh. And so you had words that were related with the same letters. So you kept repeating those letters and that root, and then you'd learn the root because all those words stemmed from that same 3-letter root and you could recognize them. So it was very smart. You know, he's a Rabbi Noah Galinkin. And at first I was a skeptic, but it worked.
It worked. Sounds like a good book.
It is a good book. It is. And if you go step by step, every page and each, like every page or every 2 pages, you learn either a vowel or you learn a letter. And it's easy because it just introduced it a little at a time. And then he'll review pa, po, pu, pe, pi, you know, and then you put a letter at the end, p, pim, pun, pan, like that. And some of it is nonsense syllables just to practice, and some of it is real words. See what I mean? So that's how a child learns to read. You learn phonics. That's how you learn to read. You learn phonics and you learn whole word. So, well, all right, I will. We'll try a different approach next week. Okay. Not every, you know, group of people is the same, and we'll see what happens. All right. If it doesn't work, you get another teacher.